The question of whether Jesus really rose from the dead is perhaps the most significant historical and theological debate in the world. Today, we examine the evidence. Welcome to this deep dive into the historical claims surrounding the resurrection of Jesus Christ. We will explore the accounts and the various theories that attempt to explain the events following his crucifixion. At the heart of Christianity lies one monumental claim: the bodily resurrection of Jesus 3 days after his death. This event is the foundation upon which the entire faith is built. This question is not just theological, it has profound historical implications. If true, it changes everything. If false, Christianity is based on a misunderstanding or a myth. To understand the resurrection claim, we must first establish the undisputed historical context in which these events are said to have occurred, under the power of the Roman Empire. It is widely accepted by historians that Jesus was crucified and died under the Roman authority of Pontius Pilate. Crucifixion was a brutal public death, ensuring no mistake about the victim's demise. The narrative continues, with Jesus being buried in a tomb, secured by a large stone. The critical piece of evidence is the empty tomb, reported just 3 days later. Now, let's explore the key pieces of circumstantial and textual evidence, often cited in support of the resurrection claim. According to the Gospels, the first witnesses to the empty tomb were women. In that cultural context, the testimony of women was often disregarded, lending an unexpected authenticity to this detail. Subsequent appearances of Jesus were reported by various people, including his skeptical disciples and later, Paul, an enemy of the early Christian movement. These appearances transformed them from fearful men into bold evangelists. The rapid and robust growth of the early Christian movement, despite intense persecution, is often attributed to the disciples' unwavering conviction in a resurrected Jesus. Naturally, such an extraordinary claim has given rise to numerous counter-theories designed to explain the empty tomb and the disciples' transformation without invoking a miracle. The swoon theory suggests Jesus didn't actually die on the cross, but merely fainted and later revived in the tomb. This theory fails to account for the severe Roman practices and how a weak, barely alive man could move a heavy stone and convince his followers he had conquered death. The stolen body theory, recorded even in the New Testament, posits that the disciples stole the body. However, this demands that the disciples committed fraud and then willingly faced torture and death for a lie they knew to be false. Some suggest the disciples suffered mass hallucinations of Jesus' appearances, yet hallucinations are typically private events, whereas Jesus reportedly appeared to individuals, small groups, and even crowds of over 500 people. We have reviewed the core historical and circumstantial evidence surrounding the resurrection claim, alongside the main skeptical theories. The combination of the empty tomb, the credible but initially reluctant eyewitnesses, and the sudden, dramatic change in the disciples' character provides a powerful case for the resurrection being a historical event. Whether one accepts the divine explanation or not, the belief that Jesus rose from the dead transformed a small Jewish sect into a world religion that continues to shape global history, ethics, and culture 2 millennia later.